What's up, everyone? I just want to talk to you guys why farming is important and how it can basically leverage you to the next level of wealth or generational wealth. Just to begin out with, farming is the standards of living because you're sustainable. You're able to create your own food. That alone gets you a foothold into the industry of owning, of really just owning anything that you want, anything that you have a mindset to get, because you are now the grower. You now possess skills that are vital to America, truthfully. But still, nonetheless, having a farm, you of course sustainable, but the profitability behind it is so great. Because you own land, the land behind it, you can do anything you want with your land. You don't necessarily even have to be a farmer, even though being a farmer is one of the easier ways to go from zero to something in a very short amount of time, or within a year or so, versus turning your land into something different. But nonetheless, having a farm, you're able to gain so much profitability if you're smart on the corner market that you have. So when you're first going into farming or agriculture in general, I would honestly start off with cattle if you have a business mind with it. If you don't plan on making your cattle production a commercial or even a big name around the city or a part of a state or anything like that, I would just go straight off with cattle. I would go straight off with, and for any type of seeding, I would go with either alfalfa or hay, stuff like that. It's very simple and very easy to do. When it comes down to the cattle, you can get a really hardy breed like the Hereford or the Charolais, which are very favorable based on their marbling and their the intramuscular fat and everything that really matters when you take them to slaughter, right? But whenever it comes to cattle, you want to start off with some starter cattle, which means you'll get 2 females and a bull, or you can get just a female and a bull, whichever one you want. Once you're able to do that, you now have the ability to grow your cattle over 5 cattle instead of 3, right? So anyways, that's important on its own, because you're able to grow, and there's really no regulation on how many cattle you can really have, especially if you plan on taking them slaughtered, or at least plan on keeping them there for a super long time. If you have a understanding that you're just trying to generate income and not necessarily trying to have them as pets, because truthfully, cattle as pets don't go very far. Reason being, because you'll be in the hole more than you'll be able to make money off it, right? The reason being I say that is because within the first 7 months, you'll probably be spending way over or relatively as much as you spent on purchasing the cattle, right? So you got to think about that point. Absolutely, because cattle, they're smart, but they're not very good pets in that sense. Understand that where cattle are, you can't necessarily put your crop at. You can't use that land for anything else, really. If you understand what I'm saying. What you can do is you can create certain orchards or certain grass types that feed off each other, that feed off of that the trees feed off the grass, that feed off the cow's manure and all that stuff. You can do something like that, because there are orchards where they do plant trees and they do have interspecies. I think it's called value plots or value pastures, where you're able to plant rows of trees, create an orchard, and then slowly sell the timber, because you can sell a seedling for $200, $300. You can sell a whole tree for upwards to $2,000. You can do that kind of thing for sure, if you're not interested in selling cattle. However, the growing of trees and the growing of plants is more of a seasonal thing, and they're more affected by shore. And it's not necessary. I wouldn't say to jump right into it. I would say definitely get your science behind it. Definitely get as much knowledge as possible behind it, and then try to get into it. That way, you are able to get the highest yield as possible from those trees and from those grasses and whatever else you plan on growing. Another good thing is to get into is fruit trees. You can definitely look into getting fruit trees. Plant orchards of fruit trees. Fruit trees are going to be pristine, because they'll always have a returning yield, which means they'll always grow no matter what. They'll always grow no matter what. You'll have fruit trees that'll grow. You can have lemon trees. Lemon trees are they grow extremely well, and they're not hard to grow either, which is why you'll often see people growing fruit or lemon trees. Apples a little bit harder to grow. A lot of times apples, they need certain climates to grow the way you want, or the size of the apples and stuff like that, and it's a little bit difficult. Oranges are the next best thing that you can grow, but even still then, they're a little bit more difficult to grow. But basically pomegranates, you definitely go pomegranates. You can definitely, pomegranates are beautiful or great in that sense, nonetheless. But yeah, what I'm trying to get you guys to really understand is that farming is necessary when it comes down to it. Farming is extremely necessary just on your own, or not just on your own, just on like the societal impact that it has. Besides the fact that, you know, you can get money from it, besides the fact that, you know, you can grow your own food from it, it's just extremely impactful because you're able to put food on other people's plates. And it's just having that knowledge behind it that you're an essential worker. You're someone who the government people rely on. And I mean, not everybody wants that feeling, and not everybody has to get that feeling. But all I'm saying is definitely be conscious of your responsibility when you are a farmer. I'm not saying you have to grow things like that on your farm. You don't have to do that. You can honestly grow for yourself and, you know, be sustainable on your own and do all that stuff by yourself. And that's absolutely okay. But in that sense, I would also say that you won't take up, if you get, honestly, for yourself, you don't need more than 4 acres, if I'm being honest with you. But if you decide to get more than 4 acres, I would say definitely lease your land out to other people. You put that land up to use, sell it. You sell it to the people that, hey, be a contributing member to society. That way, you know, income is able to be driven not only to yourself, but to other people and other people's animals and other people's, you know, tables and households, because it's more beneficial in that way, and you gain more money in that way. If you're only growing for yourself, truthfully, you'll probably struggle more out here. I'll be honest with you. If you're only growing for yourself or only want to do homesteading stuff, you'll probably struggle more out here, because you have to understand you're in a rural area. You're in a rural place that doesn't have a lot of jobs, and if the jobs are there, they're not high-paying jobs like they are in the city. So it's going to require you to be resourceful with what you have. And if you don't if you don't expect to grow for other people, do other things to be a true farmer, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle no matter what. And I would honestly tell someone, if you plan on investing in land, go ahead and invest into farming, or go ahead and invest into using your land for other people, because that is how you're going to generate that income, and that's how you're going to become wealthy. And I'm being honest with you guys when I tell you that, because a lot of people just want land to have land. And I hate to tell you, most people don't even like mowing the yard. And you have 8 acres of land. And that's on the small front. I have 64 acres. I have to brush hog all of this. I have to keep it clean. I have to make sure all the cows and animals are fed. I have to make sure that, you know, whenever a storm comes, certain things aren't washed off. I have to make sure my land is okay, because if I'm definitely not using my land to serve the people, I won't have a reason to fix that. You know what I mean? I'm just going to fix exactly what looks good to me. And hiring someone to do that, and you plan on having a business mind with it, don't just go thinking you can get land and that's just how it is. I just got my piece of land and I'm happy. But that's exactly how people lose their land, because they buy a piece of land and, oh shit, I have to take care of it. Oh shit, you know, it's just like, yes, you do. Because you have to understand, once your land becomes wooded, it loses its value. It loses its value completely, and that's the tough part about it. And you have to understand, you have to have cleared plots of land. You have to have certain areas that are cleared. You have to keep it maintained, well maintained, because if it's weeded, if it's not well kept, the value of your land goes down. And it's pointless to have it. Because you'll be selling it less than what you got it for. And I'm just being honest with you. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. Check out my Instagram feed. Check out my you are checking out my YouTube, of course. Not my Snapchat, sorry. Check out my TikTok, and go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of course. And yeah, thank you guys. Like and subscribe, of course. Thank you.